morning. It is my pleasure to be able to welcome you to the 2024 Space Capital Summit, and we're excited to have you here and to be able to share with you some really amazing insights into what's happening within the space economy.
If you extrapolate to what's possible with something like a Starship launching very regularly, you could imagine at least another order of magnitude reduction in cost of mass to orbit. Once you have this ability, it really opens the doors to everywhere else in the solar system.
Infrastructure is really critical, and again, I think Starship, with its great capacity to carry large quantities of things into this region, is going to be really important.
The growth rate is actually now currently faster than Moore's Law. If you look at the doubling time over the last, call it 8 years, it's about 24 months. If you look at in the last 4 years, it's like 18 months.
It's immediately a question of, do I have the training data to actually train the algorithms? And I think that that's a paradigm shift and a mindset shift.
Artificial intelligence is so critical to what geospatial AI is.
For every one of those launches, every time you put up a new satellite, you have now another sensor that's also collecting more data. It's an exponential increase. As we look to the future, it's more important to then take all of those observations and be able to make sense of them.
When you look at the US and China together, it accounts for 80% of total orbital launches in 2023. And then also importantly, from a financing standpoint, over the last decade, 75% of total funding. China has significant ambitions for SATCOM. Over time, they will emerge as significant competitors.
That have support from the state in some way, or indeed are direct spin-offs from some of these state or enterprises.
Commercial players coming in, I think that will greatly improve the speed and execution in getting some of these goals.
What is important is that in the Chinese ecosystem, especially their investment in commercial, civil, military, it is guided by a very clear ambition of where they want to go.
Growth of space infrastructure around the globe is driving demand for space situational awareness, data, and space traffic management. There has been $250 billion invested into low Earth orbit infrastructure and the applications that leverage those orbital assets over the past decade.
We've gone from 800 active satellites on orbit to now north of 9,000 in low Earth orbit. So that's been enabling things like satellite communications and remote sensing.
When we look at the data, we have noticed that the number of conjunctions between two operational satellites have increased dramatically and continue to increase.
Governments around the world are now starting to recognize that space-based assets are essential for our economic stability and national security. Governments around the world are prioritizing its protection.
It's going to be a commercial need that is pushing this, and it's going to be commercial capability that's going to lead the way in actually bringing this to the market and being the lead for this.
If you fast forward a decade, there has to be that international system of collaboration involved. We have to have alignment, or what we're doing here won't make any sense.